of your body have changed, and the advice you use to trust is quietly failing you. Every single day, we are bombarded with confusing diets, expensive bills, and a medical system that treats aging like a disease to be managed, rather than the phase of life to be mastered.
Here's what the research actually shows. Chronic inflammation in adults over 60 is not primarily a dietary problem. It's a mineral deficiency problem, and most people treating inflammation with food alone are addressing the downstream signal while the upstream driver stays active. I'm Chloe. I research clinical mechanisms and translate them for people who want to understand what's actually happening, not just what to do.
In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the real causal chain behind chronic inflammation after 60 and show you exactly how pumpkin seeds address it at the level where it starts. The mechanism is more specific than you've been told, and by the end of this, the action you need to take will be completely traceable to the biology. Here what starts the cascade. After 60, magnesium absorption declines significantly. And when magnesium is low, a protein called NF-kappa B, the molecular switch that controls your body's inflammatory response, stays in a permanently activated state.
Not because of infection, not because of injury, simply because it's missing the mineral that tells it to stand down. A 2018 review published in Nutrients, covering over 32 studies, found that low magnesium levels are directly associated with elevated CRP, the inflammatory marker most doctors test for. That's the upstream driver, not what you ate for dinner last night. The reason anti-inflammatory diets don't fully resolve chronic inflammation in people over 60 is that they don't address the mineral deficiency that's keeping the inflammatory switch locked in the on position.
Pumpkin seeds, specifically activated pumpkin seeds, are one of the most magnesium-dense whole foods available. 1 ounce delivers approximately 37% of your daily magnesium, but the causal chain doesn't stop at magnesium, because NF-kappa B activation has a second driver that most people don't know about. Here's the connection that makes this more than a single mineral problem. After 60, zinc levels decline alongside magnesium, for different reasons, but with overlapping consequences.
Zinc regulates T-cell activity and directly suppresses a cytokine pathway called IL-6, one of the primary inflammatory signals that NF-κB produces when activated. Think of it this way. Magnesium is what turns the inflammation switch off. Zinc is what keeps the immune system from continuously re-triggering it. Without enough zinc, the immune system stays in a low-level alarm state, producing inflammatory cytokines even when there's nothing to respond to.
Research published in Advances in Nutrition found that zinc supplementation reduced key inflammatory markers in older adults within 6 weeks of consistent intake. This is why the mechanism behind chronic inflammation after 60 is not one factor, it's a chain.
Magnesium deficiency activates NF-κB. Zinc deficiency keeps IL-6 elevated. The combination sustains chronic systemic inflammation regardless of what you eat.
Pumpkin seeds address both simultaneously. In the whole food matrix, your body absorbs more efficiently than most supplements. But there are a third factor in this chain, and this is the one that directly explains joint pain and brain fog. This is a factor that connects systemic inflammation to the specific symptoms people actually feel.
Pumpkin seeds contain ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3. ALA competes with arachidonic acid for the same conversion enzyme, COX-2. COX-2 is what produces prostaglandins, the molecules responsible for joint pain, signaling, localized swelling, and the inflammatory fatigue that people describe as feeling constantly worn down. When ALA is present in sufficient quantity, it reduces the amount of arachidonic acid that gets converted into prostaglandins. Less COX-2 activation, fewer prostaglandins produced, measurably lower pain, and fatigue signaling.
A study in the Journal of Medicinal Food showed that pumpkin seed compounds demonstrated COX-2 inhibition activity, the same pathway targeted by anti-inflammatory medications like ibuprofen. This is a food-level effect, not a pharmaceutical-level effect, but the pathway is identical.
So here's the full causal chain so far. Magnesium deficiency, NF-κB stays activated, chronic systemic inflammation. Zinc deficiency, IL-6 stays elevated immune system in permanent alarm state. Magnesium plus zinc deficiency together, ALA pathway suppress COX-2, overactivates joint pain, fatigue, brain fog.
That chain explains why anti-inflammatory diets reduce inflammation markers partially but not fully. They address the prostaglandin side, but leave the NF-kappa B and IL-6 drivers intact. Here's the part that determines whether any of this works in your body or just on paper.
Phytic acid is a compound naturally present in raw pumpkin seeds. It binds to magnesium, zinc, and iron before your digestive system has a chance to absorb them. This isn't a minor reduction.
Studies suggest phytic acid can block up to 60% of mineral absorption from unsoaked seeds. That means if you're eating raw or roasted pumpkin seeds without preparation, the two minerals driving your inflammation cascade are barely reaching your system. The mechanism that fixes this is inside the seed itself. Soaking activates phytase, an enzyme naturally present in pumpkin seeds that breaks down phytic acid from the inside.
4 to 6 hours in water with a pinch of sea salt is sufficient. The water turns slightly cloudy. That's the phytase working. This is why preparation is not optional. Without it, you're not addressing the magnesium NF-κB driver. Without it, you're not addressing the zinc, IL-6 driver. The mechanism simply doesn't run. So here's what the causal chain actually implies. Specifically, because magnesium deficiency is the upstream driver of NF-κB activation, the logical intervention is consistent daily magnesium replenishment from a bioavailable whole food source. 1 ounce of activated pumpkin seeds daily, not occasionally, because zinc depletion sustains IL-6 elevation. The absorption of zinc matters as much as the intake. Pair activated pumpkin seeds with a small amount of protein at the same meal. Protein slows gastric transit and improves zinc absorption efficiency. Because ELA competes with the COX-2 pathway, the preparation method determines whether ALA is intact or oxidized. Never roast above 170 degrees Fahrenheit to 75 degrees Celsius. High heat oxidizes ALA, converting an anti-inflammatory compound into a pro-inflammatory one.
Raw after soaking is the highest bioavailability option because absorption blockade is a mechanism value point. Soaking is a non-negotiable step.
4 to 6 hours minimum, overnight preferred. Discard the water. Rinse thoroughly. Timeline expectation based on the mechanism. Zinc and IL-6 markers. Research shows measurable shift in 6 weeks with consistent intake. Magnesium and NF-κB. Structural deficiency correction takes 8 to 12 weeks.
This isn't about adding a food to your routine. It's about removing the mineral deficit that's keeping your inflammation system in a state it can't exist on its own. If you're currently on any blood measure medication or diuretics, it's worth discussing this with your provider. Pumpkin seeds have a mild diuretic effect. and meaningful magnesium content, which may interact with those medications. This content is for educational purpose only, not medical advice. Most people treating chronic inflammation after 60 are working downstream. They are managing the signal, not addressing the switch. The mechanism is more specific than that.
Magnesium deficiency keeps NF-κB activated. Zinc depletion keeps IL-6 elevated. Together, they sustain a state your body can't correct through diet alone.
Pumpkin seeds, activated correctly, taken consistently, address both drivers at the source. Small adjustment compounds. This is one of the high return ones. If you want to go deeper on how the same mineral deficiency chains connects to sleep disruption after 60, that mechanism is covered in the next video. It's linked right here.